the Chicago Bears are actually interested in Notre Dame's coach. So there has to be a reason why the Chicago Bears, out of all the different coaches, and wants to bring in a coach to coach a guy like Caleb Williams, you're going after a college coach instead of a professional guy like a Ben Johnson or Eric Bieniemy or any of these other guys. There's a reason why Notre Dame is doing so well this year. It's the coaching, and they've had a tremendous amount of great coaches on the sidelines, not just their head coach. Their defensive coordinator is probably going to be looking for an NFL defensive opportunity, and their offensive coordinator has been sensational this year as well. And we know a quarterback, Speedy, we do know a quarterback.
Yeah.
That is the starting quarterback that we've had on our show. Who are we talking about, Speedy?
4-time guest on our show. Well, he was a member of the Duke Blue Devils, Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard has been on our show 4 times. And I think he's going to be an NFL prospect. He's not going to be a first-round pick, but I could see him a second or third-round draft pick going into this draft class. He's got a tremendous ability of leading his team down the field with his legs. He doesn't have a strong arm, but he's very accurate, and he's a good guy in the huddle. Now, sitting here today, I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that Cam Newton came out and took shots at Notre Dame just shows you how incompetently stupid that man is, okay? He is dumb. I've always thought Cam Newton has said stupid things, but this could be the dumbest thing to ever come out of his friggin' mouth, okay? This is a guy that couldn't cut it. Yes, I've said this before. He couldn't cut it in Florida. So you know what he did? He went to Auburn, and he wins a national championship, okay? And I'm not saying that Cam Newton's not a great player or wasn't a great player. For him to come out and say that he should get a yellow coat over Eli Manning, that is a joke. I would laugh at that all the way to the Hall of Fame. You're not going to the Hall of Fame, Cam. You're not a Hall of Fame player. You're a Hall of Shame player, because this is a guy that's won an MVP, went all the way to the Super Bowl against a beat-up Peyton Manning, a done Peyton Manning, and couldn't get over the hump because you couldn't make the play, and you let Von Miller smash you when you came out and said that you're going to bust a load in that defense, where you definitely bust a load, and Wolf absolutely gave you a load. All right. And you know who I'm talking about. I'm telling you right now, Cam Newton is an absolute joke. He shouldn't be speaking on First Take, but, Stephen A. Smith has a love fest for every single person on his show. As we know, Chris Russo, I'm not going to take shots at Chris Russo. I love Mad Dog. He's a friend. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But everybody else, everybody that's been on the show, including Kendrick friggin' Perkins, who knows crap, has never said anything normal when it comes to selling me about basketball, except him telling me that Doc Rivers is a good coach. That's a joke. You could see Doc Rivers going down, slamming and jamming, whatever you want to do. He's all about spamming everything. And as far as I'm concerned, Ryan Clark, I love you, Ryan. I love you, what you stand for. I loved you as a safety with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I agree with you. He is an SEC homer. The fact is, Notre Dame deserves to be there. They deserve to be there. Now, are they going to win? I don't know. I'm going to probably say no. But their coach is one of the best coaches right now in the nation. And that there's an NFL team ready to bring him in at the end of the season. That says a lot about Notre Dame's growth and the coaching that comes from that team, and the growth of the team, and why they made it to this final bracket. I think it's great for Notre Dame, and you want to see Notre Dame in that bracket. Cam needs to shut up. This guy has been just a joke of an ex-NFL player. His podcast is ridiculous. And by the way, get rid of those hats. They're ugly. I mean, I'm not going to tell you. I'd rather go watch, I'll go watch something at, Studio 54 wearing those crazy, disgusting hats than watching this guy go on First Take and make a fool of himself.
He's absolutely out of his mind. Like, you're going to say that their legacy is only a movie? Like, dude, seriously? Like, the players that have came through there, I don't know where or how he thinks like that's all their legacy is. Like, are you serious? And it's interesting on the Marcus Freeman side of it. I mean, he signed a 6-year, $42 million deal, and he's in year 3, I believe. And would you want to go into that situation with what you have now in your situation in college, knowing, you're getting paid almost $7 million a year. And you look at Bieniemy, he was a great coordinator, right? Then he goes to college and he sucked and he's already fired. So some people are great, and we've seen it on both ends where they've been really good NFL guys and they've been terrible in college, and vice versa. Bill Callahan comes to mind, just a great coordinator, quarterbacks coach all around, but he got to Nebraska and he stunk because he was trying to run an offense on the players that we hadn't recruited, and they weren't meant for that. So that's where I'm kind of like in limbo of would that be a good move? I mean, obviously, if he wants to try it, I mean, shit, our head coach right now and Matt Rule, we've seen what happened to him, but we've seen what he's done in college. So I could see it going both ways. Do you think that's a good move with 3 years remaining and getting paid almost $7 million? And your perks are way better in college than they are in NFL. I mean, he gets to use a jet whenever he wants. They got that Catholic money, so that thing's coming in. So I don't know if I don't even know if he'd be interested. I just, obviously, it's the rumor mill, and you got to touch on it because I think he's very good at what he does. Yeah. So I don't know.
Obviously, Notre Dame's a top 5 or top 12 team in the nation. I think they should be in a conference. I think the NCAA should be like, hey, if you want to make the playoff going forward, you have to be in a conference, just like Alabama, just like Georgia, the Huskers, Oregon, whoever. They have to play their competition in order to get to the playoff. Because what Notre Dame's going to do going forward is just what Alabama said. They're going to start scheduling teams that are weak so that they have 0 losses. I mean, they lost to Northern Illinois this year, I guess. But they're going to start scheduling weaker competition and make the playoff every year. As a 5 seed, they're never going to get, a top 4 seed with their not being in a conference. But I think if, Errol, you're thinking Freeman is the best coach because the Bears are recruiting him, I think you're a little off there.
I don't think he's the best coach. I think he's a top 10 coach right now in college football.
But he's using all Kelly's players.
That's fine. But you got to coach him.
But I mean, after how many coaches have you seen come in, take players from another coach, be very successful, and then once they have to start recruiting and getting their own players in, they fall off?